Good evening, you're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. This is one of the most shocking and cold-hearted stories that you will come across. A father of a state-level tennis champion, a 25-year-old young girl named Radhika Yadav, was shot dead by her father with 3 bullets from his licensed revolver. This was at point-blank range. It was inside their house. Her mother was on a floor above. Now the police are saying that the father felt taunted by his friends and his relatives, that he was not earning anything for the family and the only earning member of the family was his daughter, and that he was living off his daughter's earnings. But is that even a plausible explanation? Does it even come close to a rational explanation for why someone would shoot their own girl dead? What sort of sick, deranged individual would kill his own daughter just because he felt slighted? We'll try and delve a little deeper. Is this all that we know about the story, or have the police cooked up something that is convenient so that they can pass it off? They managed to get 1 day custody. They asked for 2, but why ask for just 1 or 2 days custody? Is there everything that we know about this case that is now above board, or is there more that we don't know which needs further probing? Because it is absolutely unimaginable that a parent would go to the lengths of killing their own child. The last time we had a similar case, the entire nation was completely flabbergasted. That was the Arushi case. Eventually, it ended up with the jailing of both the parents of Arushi. We do not want another Arushi case developing in India. That's the last thing that anybody wants. But the question begs to be asked. Why would a father, why would a parent go to such a depraved extreme that he would pump in 3 bullets into the child that he helped bring to this world? I want to first go across and bring you a sense of what the police are saying. They managed to recreate the crime scene. They're trying to ascertain the facts, and we're using artificial intelligence, AI, to try and best paint a picture as close as we can to what exactly was the sequence of events that led to this unfortunate and terrible tragedy involving the murder of a young woman. Radhika Yadav's mother, she claims, according to the statement that she's given to the police, that she was not on the first floor. That's where the crime happened. She was apparently on the 2nd floor of their house. It's a 2-story building. It's in a place called Sushant Lok, which is a very plush area. A lot of upper middle class people live there. It's in sector 57 in Gurugram, which is of course in the National Capital Territory. Radhika was in the kitchen. That's in the 1st floor of the 2-story building. She was apparently at that time cooking for her mother. Her mother says, and she has said this in her statement to the police, that she was unwell and was not in a position to cook for herself, and therefore Radhika was sort of cooking for her mother on the 1st floor in the kitchen. While she was cooking, her father reportedly walks in to the house, to the 1st floor of the house, walks up to the kitchen, and then pumps in 3 bullets into his daughter. 5 shots in all were fired, is what the police are claiming, out of which 1 bullet was lodged in her neck and 2 other bullets were lodged in her back. So basically what the police are saying is that the father did not even do this act facing his daughter. He shot her from behind. There was also an exit wound that the police are saying. So there were 4 recorded, bullet marks as well as casings that have been recovered. The 5th one is still not fully explained. There was an exit wound that's been shown by the police in the postmortem report. The doctors have recovered 3 particular bullet wounds in her body. Now, hearing the gunshots, Radhika's mother, this is further in her statement to the police, she claims herself as well as her uncle, that's her father's brother, rushed down to the 1st floor and found Radhika lying in a pool of blood. I want to first play out some of the reactions by the neighbors, the guard, the people who were there around the vicinity. But first, let's tell you what the police are saying. What the police are saying about this case, which has really caught everyone's attention, and everyone is really sort of grappling for why a father would do this to his own daughter. But first, let's listen to some reactions coming in.
फिलहाल तक जो इंटरोगेशन हुई है उसमें उनके द्वारा बताया गया है कि उनकी लड़की जो राधिका थी, जिनकी उसके द्वारा गोली मारकर हत्या कर दी थी, वो एक टेनिस एकेडमी यहाँ गुरुग्राम में चलाती थी। जिस टेनिस एकेडमी को चलाने को लेकर के वो काफ़ी नाराज थे और उनके द्वारा बार बार बोला गया था कि इस एकेडमी को बंद कर दो। उनके द्वारा राधिका द्वारा इस बात को न मानने के ऊपर वो काफी गुस्सा उससे थे और उनके द्वारा 3 गोलियां मार करके उसकी हत्या करके इस वारदात को अंजाम दिया गया। अभी तक की जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है उससे मालूम हुआ है कि सोसाइटी के कुछ लोगों के द्वारा उनको कुछ ताने दिए गए थे और इसी वजह से वो नहीं चाहते थे कि उनकी लड़की एकेडमी को चलाए और इस एकेडमी को बंद कर दे, परंतु उन्होंने बात नहीं मानी और इसी नाराजगी के तहत उन्होंने कार्रवाई की।
So that explanation by the Gurugram police PRO, I don't get it. I find myself difficult to believe that, because the police's explanation is the father was very upset that Radhika was running this tennis academy. He wanted her to shut that tennis academy down. She was insistent that she wanted to continue with it, and there was this altercation between father and daughter, and the father shot the daughter. I mean, it just doesn't add up. There are so many things that don't quite add up in this story, and we want to ask those questions because those questions are pertinent. Number one, who discovered Radhika's body lying in a pool of blood? There are multiple claims. Her brother says he was the one who first found the body. The uncle, who's the father's brother, he says that he's the one who first found the body. He's the one who's the complainant. He's the one who registered the FIR. He's the one who went to the police. And then there is the mother's version as well. There's also the version which says that her sibling, her brother, was not at home. And in fact, he was in some other property belonging to the family. He was not at this particular property where the crime happened. So again, that's the second version that's been put out. Security guard who was posted at the house that is adjacent to the Yadav residence claims that it was Radhika's brother who rushed inside the house upon hearing the gunshots. Radhika's mother says, and she's been saying to the police, that she was on the second floor. She didn't know what was going on in the first floor. She only rushed down after she heard the gunshots, that she had fever, she was resting. This was in her room on the second floor. The mother claims that she was in the room. The eyewitnesses claim that she was outside. Again, there are reports that people around the area have made that there was some kind of altercation, some kind of argument between Radhika's parents, or whether that was between Radhika's mother and her brother or brother-in-law. We don't know. There was some kind of altercation. People heard loud sounds before the gunfire happened. Is the Gurugram police in a rush to see this as an open and shut case? You heard from the police PRO there saying, oh, the father didn't like the fact that the daughter was running a tennis academy. Is that even a logical reason for why a father would go to the extent of killing his own daughter? Is that perhaps why the Gurugram police did not seek a longer custody of the accused? They asked for 2 days to the court. The court granted them 1 day. So this man, Deepak Yadav, the father of Radhika Yadav, will be in custody for 1 day. He'll have to be produced again in court tomorrow. There's also this sort of controversy around was she having some kind of a relationship? There's this video that she had shot with an influencer. That boy, of course, has spoken to CNN News 18 as well. So lots of versions which seem to suggest, again, that her father and some members of her family were angry and upset over the fact that she was featured in this music video. And apparently this video had some intimate scenes that she had shot along with this influencer named Inam. We spoke to that particular co-star of hers. His name is Inam, as I said. This was in the music video. This is what he had to say, and then I'll go across to our guests.
बहुत ही अत्यंत ही दुखद घटना है। परिणाम ये भी बताइए कि जब ये वीडियो हो गया, किस तरह का सक्सेस मिला आप लोगों को? कहा जाता है कि सोशल मीडिया पे इसकी काफ़ी चर्चा हुई थी। आपका संपर्क उसके गाने के रिलीज होने के बाद भी कुछ हुआ, कुछ एक्सचेंजेस हुए थे आपके बीच में इस गाने के म्यूजिक वीडियो के सक्सेस को लेके, और सोशल मीडिया पे कैसा रिस्पॉन्स मिल रहा था आप लोगों को?
म्यूजिक वीडियो देखिए कोई सक्सेस नहीं मिला था, बिकॉज राधिका भी न्यू है और मैंने काफी प्रोजेक्ट किए हुए हैं, पर फिर भी मैं ये नहीं बोलूंगा कि मुझे लोग बहुत जानते हैं। एज एन एक्टर मुझे जानते हैं लोग, मैंने एज एन एक्टर काफी काम किया हुआ है टीवी पर, बट एज अ सिंगर नहीं जानते।
पर आप दोनों ने अपने प्रोफाइल से तो जरूर शेयर किया होगा, आपके परिवारजनों ने शेयर किया होगा, आपके दोस्तों ने भी शेयर किया होगा।
हाँ, मैं बात पूरी करना चाहूंगा। तो ये गाना जब रिलीज हुआ तो इस पे कोई व्यूज नहीं थे, कोई लिसनिंग स्पॉटिफाई या स्ट्रीमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पे नहीं थी। देन मुझे लगा कि हमने थोड़ा भी जो अमाउंट लगाया है वो बर्बाद कर दिया, गाना बर्बाद हो गया। हमारा ये सोचना था। तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, अगर मेरा कोई गाना कभी नहीं चलता है, जैसे मेरे कुछ गाने सुम्बुल के साथ में आए हैं, साहिल खान उनके साथ में आए, ऐसे गाने आते हैं, तो एक तरीका ये भी होता है कि गाने को डिलीट मार दें और उसको अगेन री रिलीज करूँ किसी और नोन एक्टर के साथ में, जहाँ मैं भी एक्टिंग नहीं करूँ। बिकॉज जो मैं गाने में दिख रहा हूँ तो वो मुझे भी अच्छा नहीं लग रहा था, मतलब मैं अपना लुक पसंद नहीं कर रहा था। इस वजह से मैंने उस गाने को डिलीट भी किया था, अपने इंस्टाग्राम पर आर्काइव किया था, तो मैंने अभी ओपन कर दिया।
कैसा आपको लगा, राधिका को कैसा लग रहा था?
जब गाना रिलीज हुआ तो राधिका ने अपना अकाउंट डीएक्टिवेट कर दिया।
क्यों?
वो मुझे वहां नहीं दिख रहे। ये मुझे आज तक इसका जवाब नहीं पता।
All right, so many unanswered questions, and at the root of it, like I said, we have to try and find out what is it that happened, and how can a father kill his own daughter. Rekha Sharma is a BJP MP and Rajya Sabha MP, former chairperson of the National Commission for Women. Ranjana Kumari, women's rights activist, is also joining us. Yashwardhan Azad is a former IPS officer. He's also joining us on the broadcast. Let me start with you, ma'am, Rekha Sharma. You know, the police version, I don't know, it doesn't seem entirely, adding up for me, because the police are saying, oh, the father was upset that Radhika was running this tennis academy. He felt taunted. The relatives and friends used to taunt him, saying, you're living off your daughter's earnings. That is no reason for a father to, shoot dead his own daughter, pump in 3 bullets into her neck and her back. I mean, it just seems unbelievable to me.
Zaka, really, this is a shocking, sad incident, and I too don't believe what police is saying. I think let them investigate the full matter, and then only we can comment. But if what police is saying is true, this is really shocking, because we as parents raise our children to be independent, to earn money, to support the family, and this girl was doing everything what a parent want. But unfortunately, what now the police is saying that father killed because people were taunting him that she's been supported by the daughter. Let me tell you, the society is such that this can happen. The society can taunt you, but that is not the way a father can, kill his daughter. So the reason is really not understandable, and I cannot understand why a father, on just a mere taunt of some people from the society, can kill the daughter. Let the police investigate first.
Okay.
And I think police need to work really hard to go into the truth, because there are so many versions. Uncle is saying
the
something
police
else.
have made it into like an open and
Wife
shut
is saying
case.
something
Even
else.
in the court today, they said we just need 2 days custody.
No, I think
they got 1 day custody. They are saying they even said that the father has confessed. At this stage, I can't think of a case where the police are saying, oh, the father has confessed, and that's part of the FIR as well. I mean, it just seems too convenient to be open and shut like this.
See, yeah, so father may be confessing for saving someone else, or this confession, let me tell you, doesn't stand in the court. They have to come up with the solid reason for the murder.
Okay.
So they don't have anything. Have they matched the fingerprints? Have they got the some camera footings? So they have to find out many things to prove it that father killed it.
Okay,
and
let me go
even in
across
the
to
court, father will
Ms.
not say
Ranjana
that I
Kumari
killed.
as
Yeah.
well. We have seen in Haryana certainly, honor killings in the name of intercaste relationships or inter-religion relationships and so on and so forth. So far, no such thing has come to the fore in the case of Radhika Yadav. It's just what the police are saying, that the father was upset that she was earning money and that she was running this academy. He wanted her to stop running the academy. She didn't do that, and therefore he was upset and he shot her dead. Do you buy the police version at all, ma'am?
Zaka, I don't think anybody will buy that version, because nobody, even you have your show in the panel, and he himself has been a senior police officer. He'll tell you about what it is, but there is absolutely no reason to believe what police is saying, because if it is only for running the academy that father invested money in, and also to make her a tennis player, father, as the story goes, has invested. He wanted to see her daughter to be a tennis player, then to run the academy, just because he didn't. At some point of time, people started taunting him about living on daughter's income, and then I think this is, and also the story somewhere is trying to drive everybody to believe that this was a murder out of rage. And that means that, then you don't need to do much. Then, and also quantum of punishment will be much less, I think, if I understand the law correctly. And also the other thing is about, this is Haryana. This is, where girls have no agency till date. And these days especially, there is a narrative going on
Okay.
in the country, and the narrative has been built like, women are becoming too smart, girls are becoming too smart, women are demanding dowry, they are in fact complaining fake about dowry, they are doing all kinds of stuff, the whole, and women murderer. Last month, you heard that whole story about a woman killing husband, and as if almost every woman in India has become murderer and killing the husband. So I think this whole narrative about girls and women becoming smart is what it is. And Haryana, definitely it has got to be, if investigation goes, a kind of honor killing.
Okay,
Honor
I want
means
to I want
this
to I want to ask Yashwardhan Azad this. Look, I don't want to jump the gun and say this is an honor killing because, like I said, I mean, we don't have any information about her having any kind of a relationship or whether the parents and the father were upset about it. We don't know. I mean, one speculation was around this co-star in a small music video that they had put out. We got that boy on camera. We got him on interview, and he said, he's not ever met with her or spoken to her after this video was shot. And the video anyway did not do very well. My point is, Yashwardhan Azad, I find it really hard to believe that a father would go to this length to kill a daughter for the reason that the police have said, which is that, he was unhappy that she was earning a livelihood and that she was running an academy and so on and so forth. It makes no sense.
Okay, let me answer you with 2 points. The first is that for the police and even for the law, the reasoning can be anything, but the hardcore evidence is the one through which you get the criminal. So in this particular case, 4 shots were fired from his gun and a revolver, whatever it was, because I've also read only press reports. The idea is to seize that revolver, see that the bullet markings are the same, and prove that he's the person, he's the accused. Now, the second part is, yes, I agree. I may agree with Ranjana that the second part could be an honor killing. But Zaka, I have come across cases like this where in a fit of rage or in a fit of passion or in a fit of extreme anger or insult, killings have occurred. I mean, and these places are, these things are still happening in Madhya Pradesh from which was my Kada. In this particular case, I could think that it is a plausible argument that in a patriarchal society like this, which we have, and where a woman is doing so well, absolutely outstanding, there are the peers, there are the family members who get under pressure. Mind you, there are even relatives who get against you if you're doing very, very well. So in this case, that man was a builder. He was doing well. If you see the house, it looks pretty good to me.
I mean, Sushant Lok, Sector 57 is not a poor man's area. I mean, it's a fairly well-to-do, upper middle class, rich people's colony, really.
Yes. So this man, when he was doing well, and now that the daughter is doing so well, he's not earning and he's virtually eating off her in a place like Haryana, which is extremely patriarchal society. It could be that it happened in a rage, insult, maybe even the wife was taunting him. So I don't know, of course.
But, one second, Yashwardhan Azad, I don't know if you can see these pictures. Can we go to the other picture where the cops are bringing him? This one is outside the court. But where he's being brought into the police station with his face, you can see his face entirely. This, I think, was the first visual that we got. Because, this one. You look at his face, I don't see any degree of remorse or regret. I don't see any emotion in that face of a man who just a few hours ago had shot dead his daughter. I mean, it beggars belief.
More the reason why this guy was planning it for some time, and he had completely hardened himself, and he was really out to get her because he felt that insult and self-incrimination. So I would not rule it out. Of course, as you say, we can't say it right now because the mens rea, the cause of the attack has to be, of course, explored by the police. But it's a terrible thing. But I can believe it, and especially in a place like Haryana or Punjab, where we have seen that these kinds of patriarchal attitudes are so rigid
Okay.
That killing. And so I agree with Ranjana, the second part.
So let me go back to Ms. Rekha Sharma on this. So what is, I mean, obviously this is cold-blooded murder. I mean, in the old IPC would have been section 302. I don't know what the BNS section is. But the idea that you can kill your own flesh and blood, somebody you have brought into this world, you've taken care of, you've given that person an education for 25 years, your progeny, and you are killing them in cold blood because of some perceived insult or perceived slight. I mean, it's got to be more than just murder. It has to be more than just homicide. I mean, how does the law set an example if indeed the police version is true, and if indeed it is true that it's the father who killed his daughter for the reason that the police are saying he did?
Zaka, if it is true, he should be hanged. That is just very simple. But as you know, that police and the advocates will prove that it was out of anger and he was angry, and out of anger he did this. But I must say that he should be hanged. And this is not the first case in Haryana or in India, I can say, because society is such, and as everybody is saying, we have a patriarchal mindset where if women is doing well, she's been like a victim in the society. She should not work, she should sit at home because her father doesn't want her to work. She should not earn because her father or brother doesn't want to earn. So with this kind of mindset in the society, this is possible, or maybe, as everybody is saying, it is honor killing, but we don't have any proof yet.
But ma'am, can I ask you something? You know, the last case like this, which had the entire nation riveted in that sense, was the Arushi Talwar case. Again, we don't quite entirely know what happened on that night, but ultimately we have to go by the Supreme Court judgment, and the Supreme Court judgment found the father guilty. My point is, in this case, it's A, broad daylight, B, this whole reasoning put out by the police just doesn't add up. I mean, I know, look, these are the cases I mentioned because this has come to the public spotlight, and the media is talking about it and so on. Maybe there are other cases, of course, where parents are killing their own children. But I just find it so hard to wrap my head around. I mean, I have a 12-year-old daughter. I wouldn't let a thorn in her flesh. Forget about thinking about killing her or shooting her at close range.
Zaka, this is the society. But let me tell you, whether it was Arushi, they were from educated family, and this family also is educated. So we think that these honor killings and this kind of incident only happens in the villages where diktat of panchayat is there. But even in educated family, if people are behaving like this with their daughters, we have to sit back and think what is happening to the society. And we are saying that women are leading empowerment these days. So they are not only empowered, they are leading empowerment. And what kind of things are happening in reality, we really need to sit back and think about it.
Can I take that point further with Can I take that point further with Ranjana Kumari? Because I think that's a great point that Rekha Sharma has made. Well, we tend to think that, this doesn't happen in gated societies, this doesn't happen in plush apartment complexes and so on and so forth. If honor killings happen, it happens usually among poor people, where the panchayats have a sort of role. This is as plush as it gets. I mean, this is a very upper middle class, rich people's colony in Sushant Lok in Gurugram, and again the father has seemingly killed the daughter for some perceived slight. So this idea that education or wealth, or if you're up in the social pyramid, in the social hierarchy, your mindset will change, that's a complete misnomer.
Well, Zaka, this is clearly femicide. She is killed because she is a girl. So, agency by a girl, or her own capacity to earn money, to be able to say no to whatever father said, becomes the reason for her getting killed. And so many women get killed because they are women, and if men feel threatened because they are becoming stronger, they are becoming more self-sufficient, then certainly there is a threat. And that's what patriarchy does to women. That's what is happening, whether we call it women-led development in the nation or whatever. It's all a kind of eyewash at the moment. But the narrative is again going against women. Now, in this case, I don't want to buy the argument, and I don't think, and you are absolutely right, that it doesn't add up. Because, if it is premeditated and he's been trying to and planned to kill the daughter, then police has to, of course, investigate. We are only making our own conjectures. We are not really, we don't know the real situation. But then if he was planning to kill her, then what are the evidence? Who knows? I mean, like, did mother know about it? Did anybody knew that he's so deeply angry with her?
Okay.
For neighbors and people saying it. And secondly, also that, this whole rage story comes, I've seen cases in UP and other places where when they police is kind of, in some way or the other siding with, as you say, affluent, as you say, they are from a very good family.
Yeah.
All that adds up to say that police is trying to somehow or the other be on the side of the father. And
Can I ask Yashodhan Azad, is it possible that the father is covering up for somebody else, that maybe somebody else was the actual perpetrator or the actual accused, and the father may be just covering up for that person? Is it possible, Yashodhan Azad? I mean, for the longest time we thought the same of the Arushi case.
As of now, I don't think so. One of the reasons why the mother is not giving a statement is that how can she give a statement against her own husband? And the other thing is, let me tell you one thing. In the middle class families, especially in the urban areas and very polished urban areas like Haryana and Sushant Lok, there is a serious crisis in the society. For example, a woman who's 25 years old and is earning pretty well, running a tennis academy, will be making decisions about her own life. She'll be going out at 9 o'clock, she'll be coming back at 12 o'clock, she'll be spending money on her bank account, signing checks. This is something which is very unreal to a father who's used to lording about everything in the house. Mind you, the brother was living downstairs, and this kind of thing, the brother would have definitely noticed, and he should have been one to save the life of the niece, to inform the police or somebody. Unfortunately, these things are not coming up, but there's a serious crisis. Technically, that woman should have also lived alone. If a young man was there, his wife would have said, "Bhai, hum to alag rahenge, hum to nahi rahenge tumhare maa baap ke saath." So there is a lot of churning going on in this society, but the values are the same.
Okay.
So this system is under attack.
All right, Yashodhan Azad, Ranjana Kumari and Ms. Rekha Sharma, thank you very much for joining us. I mean, our hearts go out to the family of the victim. Like I said, it's unfathomable that a father would do this to his own daughter. Whatever the reasoning is, whatever the rationale is, and at least, in this case, even the one that's been put forth by the police seems unbelievable on the face of it. Let's see what else they can come up with in the questioning. I want to move on to the next story.